Hello guys, so today we are going to talk about managing the environment in the organization's culture. And there are four objectives for this chapter that contrast the essence of managers, describe the constraint and challenge, discuss the characteristic and importance of organizational culture, and describe the current issues in organizational culture. And there is a cost like a key to success in management and in your career is knowing how to read an organization's culture so you can find one in which you will be happy. So there are 5 tips for you to create the environment in the organization. Firstly, do some background work like check out the company's website and what impression do you get from it. Thirdly, observe the physical surroundings and corporate symbols. Fourth, note visible symbols of organizational culture such as logos, signs, posters, pictures, or photos, style of dress. And finally, how would you characterize the people work there? Are they serious? Are they open? Are they jovial? Or are they casual? And there are 2 kinds of managers. Management is the omnipotent, and symbolic. And the omnipotent view of management is the view that managers are directly responsible for an organization failure or success. But in the symbolic view, the view that much of an organization's success or failure is due to the external force outside manager's control, and the manager just planning, organizing, and control the plan. He do with the managerial manager.
So, hello everyone, I'm Nam. In this chapter, I will introduce to you some constraints and challenges of external environment. The external environment refer to those factors and forces outside the organization that affect its performance. As you can see in the exhibit 3.2, the external environment includes several different components such as political or legal, demographics, economic, social control, technological, and global. Economic refer to encompasses factors such as interest rates, inflation, changes in disposable income, stock market fluctuations, and business cycle states. Demographic concerned with trends in population characteristics such as age, race, gender, education level, geographic location, income, and family composition. Political or legal concerned with federal, state, and local laws, sometimes global laws. Technological concerned with scientific or industrial innovations. The social control concerned with societal and cultural factors such as values, attitudes, trends, traditions, and lifestyles, beliefs, tastes, and patterns of behavior. Global refer to encompasses issues associated with globalization and world economy. So let's move to the global economy and the economic context. And when we're doing it, we will compare it with the economic inequality and the economic context. So the global economic. When a credit markets collapsed, businesses were impacted. Credits were no longer readily available to fund business activities. Economic difficulties spread across the globe. The fractured economy recovery continues to be a business constraint. Move to the economic inequality and the economic context. As economic growth has languished and sputtered, and as people believe that anyone could prosper declined, social discontent over growing income gaps has increased. In this situation, business leaders must realize that societal attitudes in the economic context have the potential to create constraints. The demographic environment. There are 3 points in this part that you really need to notice. First, the size and characteristic of a country's population can have a significant effect on what it is able to achieve in politics, economics, and control. The second, demographic age cohorts are important to our study of management because large numbers of people at certain stages in the life cycle can constrain decisions and action taken by businesses, governments, educational institutions, and other organizations. Demographic not the third and the final. Demographics not only looks at current statistics but also looks to the future. How the external environment affects managers. First, jobs and employment. So the change on jobs and employment is one of the most constraints that managers face, both in good and bad conditions. Although such readjustments aren't bad in and of themselves, they do create challenges for managers who must balance work demands and having enough of the right types of people with the right skill to do the organization's work. Assessing environmental uncertainty. The environmental uncertainty refers to the degree of change and complexity in an organization environment. The matrix in the exhibit 3.3 shows these two effects. So the first dimension of uncertainty is change. If organizations are stable, change is minimal. If organizations are dynamic, changes are frequent. Organizational complexity refers to the numbers of components in an organization environment and the organization knowledge of those components. also managing stockholder relationships. The nature of stockholder relationships is another way in which the environment influences managers. The more obvious and secure the relationships, the more influence managers will have over organizational outcomes. Stockholders refer to any constituencies in an organization decision that an action. There are some most common organizational stockholders in this picture, such as employees, unions, shareholders, communities, suppliers, competitors, and so on. There are many of them, and each of them is really important to the organization. So that is the end of my part in this chapter.
Organizational culture constraints and challenges. Just as each individual has a unique personality that makes them different from others, organization too has a personality which is referred to as organizational culture. An organizational culture can make employees feel included, empowered, and supported, but it can also make them feel the opposite. Organizational culture is the shared value, principles, and traditions and way of doing things that influence how the members act and distinguish the organization from others. Cultural value and practices are things that evolve over time. They are perception, descriptive, and shared. Research suggests that there are 7 dimensions of culture that captures the essence of the organization. These are shown in Exhibit 3.5 and range from low to high. Here you can see the 7 dimensions of organizational culture. Moving on. Contrasting organizational culture. In many organizations, one cultural dimension is more emphasis than others and shape how it works and the personality of the organization. For example, Sony's corporation focuses on product and risk taking. The company lives and breathes innovation, and employees' behavior support that goal. While certain companies like Southwest Airlines focuses on its employees and has made them central focus of its culture, people's orientation. Here we can see contrasting organizational culture. Organization B and A have completely different culture compared to each other, as you can see from the graphs and wording. Continue on. This illustrates how different dimensions of culture create significantly different cultures. Both organizations B are manufacturing firms, but each company emphasizes a different dimension that has shaped the organization. Moving on. Here we can see strong versus weak culture, and here we have a comparison of how they are different from each other. Here, as you can see, we will now talk about strong culture. All organizations have cultures, but not all cultures are equally influence employees' behavior and action. Strong culture, in which key values are intensely held and widely shared, the more employees accept the organization's key value and greater the commitment to those values, the stronger the culture is. The stronger the culture becomes, the more it affects the way managers plan, organize, lead, and control. Strong cultures are also associated with high organizational performance. Here we have a strong example of strong cultures. Apple. Apple is strong culture of product innovation and customer service reflects the value of a visionary co-founder. The strong companies with strong values is usually well known and has stories and tells that has permeated the world itself. As such, even people around the world that has no interest in working in tech feels no of the man known Steve Jobs or Tim Cook, the head of these companies. Here we have how culture comes from and how it continues to grow. Exhibit 3A illustrates how an organizational culture is established and maintained. Organizational culture usually reflects the vision of the founder. A small-sized new organization makes it easier to establish an organizational culture. Once it is established, the organization practice helps to maintain it. And here is the graph on how to establish and maintain a culture, aka Exhibit 3A. How employees learn culture is by living it through stories, rituals, as well as material artifacts, symbols, and languages, jargons, or terminologies related within the field or the company itself. Here we have type of managerial decisions affected by culture. That's all for my part.
Hello, now I'm telling you how to know company organizations is the potential one or not. We will look at in its culture, what kind of culture it have, what kind of culture it has. So a good company and an organization will have innovative culture. So what is an innovative culture? Is that culture have challenge and involvement, which is employees involved in motivated by and committed by the long-term goals and success of the organization, not for personal, not individual goals and individual success. They the employees tend to do their best for the organization, for the company to reach long-term goals. Second is the freedom in the company or the organization. If the employees are independently define their work, exercise discretion, and take initiative in their day-to-day activity. So there's freedom in there, and they are free to say to speak out their ideas and they thought without any fear of punishment if they say anything wrong. The third is trust and openness. For a company to move on, the employees must be they must be union, and how to make a union in the workplace. There has to be the trust and openness between employees. Ideal time is that individuals have time to look over on new ideas before to look over on new ideas carefully before taking action. Do they have time to find out is that the best way, or is there anything wrong in the ideas before taking it into action? Next is the playfulness or humor. Do you see is in a work in a is the environment is make the employees comfortable, or just only make them feel stressed? Because to make the best performance the employees must be very comfortable so that they mind can be freely to think to creative. If they're too stressed, so they cannot work effectively. Conflict resolution. The conflicts in companies is the thing that cannot avoid and it should not be avoided because when the employees they argue for the best solution that they are they're trying to make the best thing for the organization, the company. So if the individuals make decisions and resolve issues based on the good of the organization versus personal interest, so that means which means that um, the culture is the company is good and they are potential company and the organizations. Debates are employees allowed to express opinions and put forth ideas for consideration and review. This is quite similar to freedom. Risk taking. Do managers tolerate uncertainty and ambiguity and are employees reward for taking risks? Because in business, risk is the thing that we cannot avoid. Risk taking is the decision you have to make every day, every you make a business. And in anything, there is always a risk. So if the manager do not tolerate uncertainty and ambiguity and the employees are not rewarded for taking risk, so they will never make the company make the company develop because they are taking no risks, and by doing that means no chance and no opportunity to improve. Creating a customer responsive culture. Research shows that the customer satisfaction is directly related to the customer spending and consumption. Because this is quite easy to understand. For example, if you work in a restaurant and you are not satisfied with the service, and you may not never come back, you may never come back again, or you spend less money or in a restaurant because maybe you spend money on the food but not for the service. So this is satisfied customers will be repeat customers for business. Spiritually and organization culture. So we have just talked about the innovative culture. Now we talk about the spiritually and organization culture. So what is workplace spiritually a culture where organizational values promote a sense of purpose through meaningful work that takes place in the context of the community. Organization with a spiritual culture recognize that people have mind and spirit, seek to find meaning and purpose in their work, desire to connect with others, and be a part of a community. A good worker is not work only with his or her mind, It's about his and her spirit. A good worker will work with a mind and spirit. So a spiritual workplace is very is is a very important element. When when employees they know what's the meaning of and the purpose in their work, so they will use 100% time and they focus and they will try their best to do the work. But if they don't, they will just use just about 50% or even less. So this is not a good thing. For for too easy to understand, for example, when you go to your company and you work day by day, and you don't know what this for it is have any meaningful any meaning. So do you work with good still? So do you work with a smile on your face and have a willing to do the job, or just make it done and then you go home, life and having a life meaningless? No one want to have a life meaningless. We all want a meaningful life and meaningful work job. So this is 5 cultural characteristics of spiritual organizations. Strong sense First, strong sense of purpose. Culture built around meaningful purpose, and company, organization, or ideas built based based on purpose. Focus on individual development. Recognize worth and value of individuals. This will make employees feel they are appreciated by the company, and they will work harder and try and and use more time for working with 100% their mind and their spirit need. Trust and openness, characterized by mutual trust, honesty, and openness. This is the factor that make a company not just a workplace. It's more than maybe it's a family or a community with close relationship will help the employees close to each other, and they will make a union employees and workplace. Employee empowerment. Manager trust employees to make good decisions. This will make employees more confident, and they will they will they will dedicate more with the best values to their company. Tolerance of employees expression. Employees free to express emotions. This will help the employees feel less stressed because they are allowed to express freely, as long as they respect the other. This is the end of my part.
Hello everyone, today I am that, and I will deal with the two cases of the chapter 3. The first case is about examples. I want to answer about the Japanese train core values is that deliver well rule service, embrace and right change, we are fun and a little winners, be adventurous and creative and open-minded, pursue growth and learning, build open and honest relationships with communications, build a positive team and family spirit, do more with less, be passionate and determined, be humble, and there are two values I like most is deliver wow through service. It is the way employees in the company wows everyone, wows everywhere, and the employees in the company actually make the other wows by their compliment, their accomplishment. They can help even when it isn't their job. And the second one is the core value third. It's create fun and a little winners. It's embrace other points of view and individuality, has an authentic sense of self and let their inner quietness come out. So, in the examples, there are three cultures that I like most. The first one is happiness. They want to create culture leads to employee happiness. A happy employees means higher engagement, profitability, and low turnover. The second one is people. Their culture would not be what it is today without people, past and present. The third one is being themselves. They love that they get to be themselves all day. They don't have to pretend to be something else. They are not, which makes Zappos become a comfortable place. And to me, it's not only the Zappos cultures is high, but extremely high. And how Zappos maintain this culture is from the recruitment. They want to choose the people who have culture fit with the organization. From there, they will train, graduation, and Zappos pledge that every trainee must undergo a 4-week training program that spans across all areas of business, and each new employee must take the Zappos pledge to the 10 core values. And in the treating their employees, they have a coach like, if you get the company culture right, it will take care of other corporate issues. And they start with placing value on employees, maintaining their happiness. They create a passionate workforce. They supply free food in the cafeteria, covering on medical and dental benefits. They supply a life coach to help employees reach their goal. And next, I will go to the case 2. It's about the cinema, and I will use the exhibit 3 to answer for you guys that what external components might be most important for managers in movie theater chains to know about. Yeah, let's see about firstly political and legal, because some things are not allowed due to this range or politics. The second one is demography, because it depends on its personalities. The third one is when economic when economic situation goes down, people tend to be less likely to go to some entertainment. And the final one is global. The trending movie, the more trend, the more film on the trending, the more people will watch it. And of on this external trend, if manager of the cinema in Vietnam, they have to deal with the economy, because people want to pay less but watch more. Thank you.